Hi there and welcome. In today's video I'm going to be swapping out some poppers for buttons. Now I've got this beautiful, one of those like, what they call them, teddy coats, and this was gifted to me by my lovely niece Gemma. But they've got these ugly large poppers on and some of them don't pop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be swapping those out for some vintage buttons that I picked up. I picked those up in a charity shop. I got 6 of them for £1. And then on the opposite side, I'm going to be using this. It's almost like, I don't know what fabric is, but it's like, I don't know if you can see that, you know, that what type of fabric it is. But there's no stretch in it and it's bonded on the edge, so there's no fray or anything there. But I'm going to be using this, you know, as the fastener to put around the button. So I'm going to first of all then take off all of these poppers, and when I take it off I'm going to put a pin in to mark where I need to sew the button on. So let me just get my glasses on. Right, so let me just start unpicking this, and it should be pretty easy because they've actually stitched it on in the same colour. It's almost like a wool that they've stitched it on with. Right, so while that's there, let me just put a pin behind the back of that in the centre. And then I know that in the centre of that's where I need to stitch the button on. And you know, I see some lovely coats about, but I do think that these poppers really spoil the look of a nice coat. And I'm going to start at the top. That really nice one. Right, so let me just get that there. And because this has got like a bobble, a little, not bobble, but you know, the bit where it don't go flat to the coat, it's going to work better. You know, that it sort of comes up a little bit from the coat for the tie to go round. So I'm not going to pull this tight. And I think the pink does go really well with the beige. I could have got a better colour option, but you know, I do like my vintage things, don't I? Right, so what I'm going to do with that now, then I'm just going to keep pushing the needle under the stitch that I've got, you know, where the button is, to secure it in place. Because I haven't got any spare of these buttons, so I don't want to be losing any. Right, so that's really secure on there. Snip that off. And that is my first button on in position. So I'm going to put the rest on, but I'm going to do that off camera just to save on filming time. I've already gone ahead and took the poppers off the opposite side, and again I've put the pins where they were, so they're perfectly lined up for the opposite side. I've cut these to 5.5 inch for the loops, and the size of the buttons that I've got on is, it's 1 inch point 2. Right, so let me just get some thread. Right, so I'm going to double this over again. Right, so I'm going to start at the top one, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold that over, meeting the ends and folding it over like so. And then I'm going to place this with the loop facing inward. Okay, so it's facing inward, not outward. So I'm going to pop that just slightly this way, not totally in the centre where the popper was, just slightly this way. I'm going to move that needle, and then I'm going to bring the knot underneath inside there. And then I'm going to just make sure that I don't go through to the front, because obviously, because this is on the inside, you would see it, but because it's fur, it's a great mask that if it does go through slightly, you're not going to see it. Right, so I'm just stitching it at both sides. I'm going to do it quite a few times so it's in position nice and strong. Let me just do a couple more on the opposite side. And then what I'm going to do then is I'm going to fetch the loop so it's coming this side, and then I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to do the magic stitch where you don't actually see the stitching. So I'm going to come up, bringing the needle there, and then I'm going to go slightly along, then back into the fur and back up where the cotton is on the opposite side, and then I go back in again. You can see this because of the fur, and then back into the fur, coming back across again, and literally going back in, coming slightly across, back into the fur, and then I'm going to work my way back, doing the same thing. Let me just turn that round a bit. Coming back into that, coming across, so that all the while the cotton is inside. Going in there, going back up, working it across, that fur, coming back up, and then working it across. And then that is nice and neat. That cotton there is the bit that was hanging off, that needs snipping off. So you've got nice and neat there, and it's nice and neat there. And then that is your loop. That'll go under your button. So this is the finished look, guys, with the buttons on. I think these type of buttons make it look a bit more vintagey because they are old vintage buttons. It was easy, well, an easy transformation to make it a different fastener by using buttons and these loops. And like I say, with the poppers, especially the big ones, they're not nice to look at. They're not always great fasteners. So a button and a loop is a great option if you do want to change some of those fasteners that you may have on jackets or coats, because you can always buy lovely, lovely buttons. And if you want your jacket to fold further over so it's tighter on you, then just move your button further in, and then it'll just pull that further over for you. That's another option when you're doing it. So I hope you've enjoyed this little show and tell, really, of how you can put different fasteners on your jackets and coats. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time, bye for now.